Okay, guys, let's take some fear out of this loss of senses, smell, and what they claim to be COVID related. Let's talk about the Cribriform plate. Cribriform plate. There's your inhaler, right? Your inhaler, your nose, and there's the whole everything that you're inhaling goes down to your lungs. Doing so, it has to pass the olfactory nerves. The olfactory nerves are being connected via this cribriform plate. It's part of our little skull system here. And with that said, it gives a direct connection to our brain. Our factory bulb shares that over. Let's go to my favorite, the amygdala. The amygdala is connected to our factory bulbs. Remember, my theory is everything goes first to the amygdala and then the brain. And the amygdala will do nothing if there's no conclusive files made of the data, whether it be sensory or whether it be mental, that you've made up files that all of X people are no good. That's a conclusive file, so that means you'll be triggered and feel attacked if you see that X group accelerating and above what you want them to. You're superior to them because you made up a file of such. That would be the mental side of it. It also protects anything you own, and I mean anything. That means anything you may think you owned that you didn't know you realized you owned. So you may own your car parked out front at a certain spot, and when someone tries to start backing in towards your car, you start feeling attack, a sense of somebody's attacking, getting too close to something you own. You might walk up there and see it's within 3 inches of your car, the parking. Now you feel like somebody might have hit your car, being attacked. It's very petty, the amygdala in the human brain, protecting anything that we own. When you're sleeping, what would wake you? What would wake you if you're asleep? Nothing should wake you. You're just asleep. And why would you awaken? Well, for something example of a smoke in the house. Because you have a conclusive file that smoke is dangerous. Smoke equals fire. As you're inhaling this air, let's call it air, the air you're breathing, it's all of a sudden becomes smoke filled. Your brain has a conclusive file that smoke equals fire, and smoke's not good unless there's a reason behind it, such as sitting around a campfire. And so the smoke, I did not mean to click that. So the smoke would come across your olfactory nerves as it goes down the lungs. It would hit your the nerves there. It would directly go to the amygdala. The amygdala would say, "This is smoke. This is not typical. We're asleep now. Let's wake the human up and resolve this smoke issue. Where's it coming from?" That includes the ears also, the senses from the ears. Your eyes aren't going to be taking on anything, but at sleep, it's going to be your beautiful factory bulb and the amygdala working together via the cribriform. Now, how do you knock someone out? Well, this is also construction related. You breathe in, say, trichloro-difluoromethane. That product is your old Freon 12, let's call it, right? That goes into there. It crosses through these nerves into the brain. It crosses the air barrier, if you will, into the brain, and it can pass you out. Well, that's also how you can kill someone through odors. That's how people die of different gases crossing into the brain, passing them out. Not just low oxygen levels, but a direct brain barrier crossing via the olfactory bulbs, the olfactory nerves, getting direct there. You can, and then you got the blood-brain barrier, which crosses through the blood, touching stuff into there like mercury, getting into the blood system, going to the brain. But this is the way to hijack it. Now, sneezing. What would sneezing do? Well, imagine these nerves here are in our skull, right? They're up here in our nostril area here. They get a little wet and moisture. Well, the brain every now and then it gets overloaded here, and the senses aren't smelling. It's just clogged up. So you blow it out. You can blow this out with air, forced air, a sneeze, to clean these off. They're constantly being cleaned off with sneezes. when you're sneezing through the day. Or if you take on a pepper, the pepper comes in, it goes in here, it excites it, too sensitive, and it creates the air. It wants it off of the sensors, so it blows it back out with a hard sneeze to clean these off. It doesn't. It's too sensitive, too tickling, if you will. Now we go back to my beautiful amygdala. Where'd you go, baby? So olfactory senses neurons located in the nasal. Where's my? Where's my? There's a zinc one. We'll tie the zinc in just a moment. Where's my amygdala one? Let me try that. Olfactory bulb and amygdala. Olfactory bulb and amygdala. Let's try that. Olfactory bulb, Latin for bulbous, whatever, olfactorius, is a neural structure of the vertebrae forebrain involved in olfactory, smelling. It sends odor information to be further processed in the amygdala. Isn't that beautiful? There's more proof of my amygdala first theory. They tracked it there, and if that's the case, again, the amygdala is first. So we can control. You have to stop making files that make you triggered. The conclusive files is what it's all about. Whatever you have a conclusive files on, that's it. For example, look at this as you see it in here. Look at this color orange right here. See this orange color? Oh, here's orange over here. Wait a minute. No, this is orange. This is orange, and this is more pink right here. Well, you know I got that backwards. Well, you may pick on data going, wait a minute, did he get that backwards? You're trying to process it, but it's something that's distracting you. But if I clearly say that it's kind of a pinkish color, well, then you're going to give me a little slide on that one, and this looks a little more like an orange color. Then you give me a slide. Maybe you'll come up with a different color altogether. But the point is everything we own, like this blue down here, this color blue, you might decide it's purple. And, I might go with you on that. It might be more purple. But the issue here is, oh, it looks like a nice image. The issue is beautiful. So here's our little sensors. Your air comes in, and here's your amygdala. The amygdala is going to do the quick reaction. It's not going to be a go to the brain, figure out what to do next. The amygdala is going to take control. It's going to be a flight, they tell you. I say it only does fight. It doesn't handle flight. That flight is really a form of fighting still. It only protects the human on everything it owns. And that's why it's so petty when we start arguing about colors. Because clearly if it went to the forebrain first and you started processing the data, you go, well, you know what? You would be more in a Zen state going, it's okay, you can perceive it as that color. That's what you perceive. No, we say, you're effing crazy. It's not purple, man. It's blue. It's blue. It's not purple. It's purple. It's blue. You can go back and forth. This includes you traveling in your car when you create that airspace between your car and the car in front of you and the car in your car vehicle. You create it for a safety cushion. So if the car in front was to slam on brakes, you'd be able to slam on brakes and protect yourself from rear-ending them. You created that cushion. Upon you making that cushion, you now own it. But you didn't know you own it, and you didn't know the amygdala realized that you owned it. You didn't know your amygdala said you own that, we'll protect it. Until the person in the far right lane, next neighboring lane, puts on a turn signal to come into your lane. As soon as it does that, the amygdala says this person recognizes the turn signal. It doesn't evaluate whether the person will be there long and get out of the way or not just slow down. No, it says this person is getting ready to take something I own. So then you hit the gas pedal to close up the safety cushion you created for a safety cushion. You now start riding the car in front, dangerously so, because your amygdala took over as protecting. It's a temporary insanity of the amygdala fighting. Takes over to control that space so the person with the turn signal won't take something that you own, and that's that space. The issue is the person that put the turn signal on, they made a decision before they put the turn signal on that I can go over to that spot. Once they put that turn signal on, it's now a conclusive file that they own that space. And now you in that space closing it up, they now have to fight to get that space back. They could clearly press on the gas pedal and try to go around, possibly even go behind you. But no, they must fight for that space that they own, which happened between your car and the car in front. And that's when it goes on forever and fingers get pointed out with the middle fingers and stuff like that. That's our amygdala. Now, coming back, let's jump over to this damn zinc. So zinc as a neuromodulator in the central nervous system with a focus on the olfactory bulb. Zinc is a common trace element and is highly concentrated in the synaptic vesicles of subsets of glutamatogenic glutamaterogenic. Let's try this. Oops. Let's try this. Maybe they'll nail it. Agent or a chemical that directly modulates it could be back to the excitatory amino acids, glutamate, aspartate, system in the body or brain. Examples include amino acids, receptors. Okay, so let's bounce back. So subsets of this neurons in some brain regions, including the hippocampus and olfactory bulb. In addition, zinc is contained in the synaptic vessels of some. I'm going to mess up. See, when I don't get too crazy about trying to pronounce their words. Glycinogenic and GABA. Neurons. GABA is very interesting. Thus, zinc released from synaptic vessels is available to modulate synaptic transmission. Thus, zinc released from synaptic vessels is available to modulate. So you see how you need zinc for the olfactory bulbs. So, and I know they're trying to tell you, well, if you got COVID, if you got zinc, well, it's ironic that they want science, and yet they cannot. It's not science to say you lose your sense of smell, and so therefore it's that. Well, I would say if you lost your sense of smell, would you not say that you're depleting your zinc somehow? And if you're depleting your zinc, why? And does that make you now susceptible to other weaknesses, such as a virus, a typical virus that was engineered virus, this COVID-19 virus, coronavirus? So it's not that you got COVID and then it killed your zinc. I think maybe you have a virus and it ate some of your zinc up, which then killed your olfactory bulb, your sense of smell. And so you need to get your zinc in order, right? Get your house in order. And then zinc is a speed, it helps healing and things like that. And if you're depleting your healing mechanism, well, it shows that, you're eating shit. You're not eating properly. So this is the nutritional point I'm making here, is that you need to eat properly. You need to respect these neurons here, these neurons. Respect that your inhalation and sneezing is just simply related to your cribriform, which is your olfactory nerves, etc. Your zinc is needed to help this guy with your sense of smell, your transmission up to there, obviously to the amygdala. So look into your zinc levels. I'm not saying take zinc by itself. You need to look how zinc is a balanced thing. This is another subject. But you just can't take any one vitamin on its own without it draining another nutrient in you. So you need to balance it. And if you're going to do this stuff, don't take the vitamins every single freaking day. Give yourself a break. Take it every other day. Other thing I'd recommend is don't work your kidneys 24 hours a day and your liver 24 hours. Well, they're working, but don't work them as hard every day. That means don't go to sleep with a full belly. That shit's got to work, and then wake up, and then you eat. It's like you're never giving your system a rest. To just relax your digestive system. Let it enjoy itself a minute. Enjoy a cramp in your belly now and then where you didn't eat. If you haven't felt that in a while, you need to get back to that. Stop working this system constantly, making it have to run. You're putting a stress on it. So, eat, the fasting, if you will. You can call it that all you want. But you're fast when you go to sleep. So before your last meal, Get control of yourself. Make it 8 o'clock at night, and don't eat again until 10 a.m. the next morning, and then eat again maybe at 6 o'clock. Just let your system enjoy itself and relax. You've got enough fat on your body to knock some of this stuff down. I know I gained some COVID fat, sitting on my ass where I can't get out there and be physical. But I wanted to show you guys, talk about zinc and my beautiful amygdala and how it works. Now, we don't know what this smells like until we're told. So you know what lavender smells like once you're told. You smell it, it's a lavender smell. I'm just saying this is lavender because of the color, right? I don't know what the hell he's smelling. So or she. He. So the lavender is just an odor until someone says that odor will now be identified as lavender. You make a conclusive file that this odor is now in the amygdala's control that says this will now be called lavender when I smell it. Not a threat, it's just lavender. In fact, you might put a conclusive file that lavender smells good. So lavender, you smell it, oh, that was soothing. Because you have a conclusive file that lavender smells good, and now your brain calms. All right, so remember our conclusive files are how we can change our attitude with so many things in our life. All right, so just think of that. So I went over the zinc with you. I went over the amygdala. I went over conclusive files. I went over, your direct brain odors can come here, and since they do cross right into the brain, you can get an odor. A gas can kill you by direct contact. We know that when they give you the odor of anesthesia, right? That it goes directly from here into your brain and out you go. It's not the blood. It doesn't go into your lungs, then goes to the bloodstream, then from the bloodstream to your brain, and you pass out. That would take a few beats to do that. This stuff's like knock you out stuff. So it hits these sensors into the brain, good night brain, and that's where that's going, that direction. Where are we going with this? And that could be as simple as, imagine how simply you could knock someone out, simply as changing the O2 content or the nitrogen content to make them get lightheaded, and out to sleep they go. That's another video again. But I'm going to end it with this one, and I hope that you understand now the Cribriform, how beautiful it is. Look at it. The olfactory bulbs, how your sneezes are cleaning off your nerves here, how you smell cayenne pepper, how it gets all sensitive up here, how the mace works also, hitting these nerves and firing them up, things like that. Ending video. Enjoy, please. Explore this yourself, and this is a good one for you, I think.